my shot lined up. Cross that minus plus. Will I fire on ya? Bishop, knight, or rook. Bright as diamond. Some will find it rough to just rise above. Cause I got my shot lined up. Thought it's on the target pull. I've done gotta stop, reload.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to some more OB Plays MTG. My name's OB, and unfortunately I have had a swamped life that I've been dealing with a ton of things, so I haven't really been able to treat this channel with the respect I'd like to. I miss playing Magic for you guys, I miss doing this, so I just recently got a new job that gives me a ton of free time in between shifts. I'm working 12-hour shifts, so I decided that what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to create a few videos on one of my days off and then just schedule them to be released. They might be released weekly, they might be released every couple days, depending on what I want to do. But honestly, I've been playing Magic on mobile and I've been really enjoying Arena again for some reason, and I think honestly it's because of Explorer. There's something about a non-rotating format that was reminiscent of Historic back in the old days, where you could kind of just play the cards as they were printed. I missed that so much more than I realized, because Historic was definitely a format I enjoyed more so than Standard most of the time. I will make Standard content. There is some really cool decks going on right now, but I wanted to start the return with kind of the classic that started it all for this channel, Mono Green Stompy. I built this deck just out of boredom because I kind of saw someone was playing a best of one list, and I was like, if this is able to be played in Explorer right now, which come to find out it is, it's doing very well for me. I've been enjoying jumping in and jamming some games. I always kind of have my own take on things when it comes to building a mono-colored deck like this. So basically it's your normal typical package. I chose to go with the snow package because Blizzard Brawl is just such an effective piece of removal, and against certain decks, like honestly, like Rakdos, you're always going to run into trouble. I haven't really ran into a matchup I felt like I was miserable against. I actually can beat Sacrifice with this deck. A lot of things have trample. The big thing that they try to do is block your stuff, you know, do the witch oven combo thing and just kind of keep you from producing damage, and then they gain a bunch of life, and then you're kind of just too far behind to play an aggro deck against them. But this deck kind of pushes through that with trample and inability to be blocked by a creature's power 2 or less, so they're kind of just sacrificing their mayhem devils to you, and it's just not easy for them to like overcome this deck like something like a mono red, which I might play. There's actually a really great mono red list on Explorer right now that you can definitely like tweak and edge. I've been running into a lot of control, a lot of black based control, so I thought that it'd be fun to just kind of throw together an aggro list, see how we do. Eventually I would like to get to the point where I'm doing events. We can grind events now on Arena and able to make play-in points, which gets you the ability to go into regional like qualifier matches. A lot's changing in Magic, and I think it's for the better, especially for, you know, competitive play. So I'd like to see where it goes. Basically, it's your typical snow package, Blizzard Brawl. You got to start with your 2/1 drops, Pelt Collector, Llanowar Elves, Scavenging Ooze, because the graveyard's so important in Explorer, and having this card main deck is just amazing. Werewolf Pack Leader, solid 2-drop, always has been. 3/3 for 2 is just amazing. And then when you start getting other creatures out with it and attacking with it and drawing cards, it's even better. I think I was talking to the boys in DWC, you know, RIP, they're taking a hiatus right now, but I was talking to him about this when this card was previewed, and I thought it was an insane card. Old Growth Troll is just solid because it can ramp you as well, and it's a 4/4 with trample for 3. All these cards are like really efficient. Steel Leaf Champion, a 5/4 for 3 that can't be blocked by creatures of power 2 or less. Like, get out of here, man. One copy of Rhonas the Indomitable. I've found that having like an indestructible threat can really pay off, because say it's turn 5 and this is the only thing left on the battlefield and you have a Llanowar Elves or whatever, you can just pop, you can use this as activated ability to give your Llanowar Elves, you know, +2/+0, and it's or like, you know, so like say this is a 2/2, you give it +2/+0, you're able to attack with your Rhonas, and it's just it's got Death Touch, it's indestructible, you can surprise people, do combat tricks, you know, block their big thing, it doesn't die. It's just a nice sticky threat There is some exile removal in the white decks now that's kind of hard to get past, and then obviously, you know, like Vanishing Verse and stuff like that is kind of brutal. That's why I only got one copy in there. Collected Company, I mean, you can't really say much about it. It's a beast. I've had like a Steel Leaf Champion on the board. They kill it, cast Collected Company. I got 2 more, like, you know, and on their turn, you know what I mean? So it's a really effective card. Questing Beast, top 3 for me. Hazoret's my first. This is probably my second. We all call it Texting Beast because there's so much to do with it. It's just a great card all around. Probably one of the best mythics that's been printed. The Great Henge, another great mythic from the same set. We all knew Throne sucked. It was way too overpowered. But you get this thing down, you start casting creature cards, and you just overwhelm your opponent. You're gaining life. Over time, this can snowball into craziness. Typical snow-covered forest mana base, and then we just added Faceless Haven because it's really useful. Sideboard, put 3 Soul God Lanterns in there. Shifting Ceratops, he's great against obviously like blue-based control decks, even with the black decks. Like, you know, I've run into spirits a lot, and a lot of their removal is, you know, counters or bounce spells. So this thing sticks, and you can kind of just either keep it up as a blocker, or you can just smash through what they're putting in front of you. And sometimes that can just be enough to end the game right there. Vivien Arkbow Ranger, because to be honest, against control decks, I kind of want to stick your threat. And playing Collected Company, it gets countered a lot. And if I can put this on the battlefield, at least if they sweep the board, I got something that I can start rebuilding a board with. It also can be fun just to kind of bring in against other creature decks because it is a source of removal. Snakeskin Veil, protect our stuff against like Fatal Push and single targeted removal. There's like I said, a lot of black-based decks. Everybody's playing Fatal Push. Everybody's playing, you know, like all the pretty much hard removal. So this is just good to bring in. It's kind of like a little bit of a safety net. And then Outland Liberator. I put 4 copies of this in there because enchantments and artifacts. Now, why did I choose Outland Liberator? Because of Collected Company. I keep Collected Company in against like sacrifice-based strategies that are using Owning Cult, Ambull, Witch's Oven, and all that, just to, you know, because you're going to be able to cast it. You're not worried about counter spells, and this can drop in. It could be nighttime already, and you could just attack and smash in and, you know, destroy a target artifact or enchantment, or you can, you know, just sacrifice it and destroy like their sacrifice source. So it's a pretty solid deck. Like I said, I've been having fun playing it. I hope you guys like it. And I hope you guys stay tuned for the videos that I'm going to keep posting. I'm going to try and get back into the swing of things and get this going because I really miss playing Magic for everybody, and I really miss doing it. And I appreciate everybody who stopped in and watched. And let's get to the games. We are back playing some Explorer. Mono Green Stompy. It's good to be back, man. I've really wanted to do this channel. I've just been so drained, you know. Got a bunch going on. But we always make time. I would like a 2-drop. We got some removal. We got Collected Company, Great Henge. That could be good with Kazandu Mammoth. So, and we're on the play. So, we'll keep it. Pelt Collector go. Sweet Hop Mixes Avatar. This reset's been really awesome. As I said, we got Fatal Push. But I've been really stoked to play. Like, I honestly have not stopped playing Magic in a while. It's pretty wild. I'm interested to see what they take. Probably the Mammoth. But all of this could be, like, if they leave me Collected Company and I draw lands off the top, this could be worse, you know. If this survives, which I highly doubt, we'll see. Yeah. But, as a good friend once told me, the more removal they use against your stuff, the more stuff will stick later. So, we draw into a land we're in like really decent shape. Ditch the Great Henge here. Okay, interesting. 2 cards. Pelt Collector is not bad, just because I can kill this now, which is pretty good. Yeah. Get it off the battlefield. They're definitely talking about bringing back Kroxa, which could be a big problem for us. But at the same time, we do have Rhonas. Okay, they want to play Graveyard Trespasser, which is an interesting choice. Steel Leaf Champion. Give us a 2/2 Pelt Collector. We have a blocker now. If they might be. It looks like they're stuck on lands, so if they attack here, we're definitely just gonna. Old Growth Troll's not bad. It's just bringing up our stuff here. We're actually doing okay. If they want to chump block this, I'm not like upset about that trade. Because it just gets something and they're just gonna start exiling cards and stuff. So I guess maybe that could gives us a 4/4 as well. And they're just running Fatal Push. They've had 3 of them. Another graveyard glutton. Interesting. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and not attack. We're gonna hold back. I know that's kind of abnormal for mono green, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and cast Collected Company and sort of whiff. Faceless Haven. Okay. Let's attack in this and this. You know what? Draw a card. Not the card we wanted, but we'll take it. Okay. Let's activate this. Opponent needs a land. This is why we stick with games. Because the swing just happened pretty quickly. And Kroxa really doesn't bother me that much. We have enough power, I think, that we're actually going to squeeze by on this one. The blocks are 4, yeah. Or, you know, we'll go ahead and just play this. And, yeah, move forward. Opponent's playing Rakdos Midrange, a pretty popular deck right now. I kind of just want to bring in a couple of these. Maybe go down one of those. Trim a Pelt, or maybe a Llanowar Elves. Bring in a couple of those. We have plenty of graveyard hate, so I'm not like stupid worried about it. Now we know what they're playing, so if we get a Scavenging Ooze and a decent curve, like I think we're okay, even though Thoughtseize is a thing. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. We have 2 forms of graveyard removal. A couple lands. Pretty solid start. Opponent's gonna take away one of these, guaranteed. Scavenging is more than likely because it can provide more value. They might take the 1-drop, which is weird. They definitely have another Thoughtseize then. We'll play this just to kind of keep it on the battlefield. We got lands, we just need stuff now. We're not going to play Scavenging Ooze into a Fatal Push. That's a dumb play. I'm going to make them use a Thoughtseize. Yep. Remember, we can always draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern if we want to. We're kind of hitting lands now, which is kind of a bummer. But we can get rid of this Blood Tide Arkbow. Keep our Scoozy Boy Slim on the board. Probably a misplay on my part, just because they probably have Fatal Push in hand, but I don't want to give them too much of a board presence, because that's when, you know, mid-range decks are going to start kind of popping off. So, okay, Bloodchief's Thirst. Tenacious Underdog, okay. We do have a blocker for that. We'll probably take 3. I kind of want to just draw a card off the Soul Guide Lantern at the end of their turn. Indomitable, Mirrorbreaker, solid card. It's been everywhere. Go ahead and draw a card. Opponent's got no mana. Pelt Collector kind of sucks. We are hurting right now. Okay, well we'll play this. Play this. We'll exile the creature or whatever. And then hopefully we draw into something. I mean, we've drawn 6 lands, so it's kind of the magic gods at this point. Opponent really likes what they have in their hand. We'll go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna probably block and not take too much damage here. We have the Threat of Soul Guide Lantern chillin'. Graveyard Trespasser. It's probably too far behind now, but I'm gonna give it a shot. See what we can do. Steel Leaf Champion's not terrible. They're gonna have to get rid of something in order to get rid of this. We'll end the turn. They more than likely will fail push this, and I think that's going to be the end of the game. But we'll stick around. Really depends on their play here. Soul Guide Lantern, we will draw a card. Oh man, we just hit like, I think, jeez. You know, that's gonna be it for us. But yeah, we hit a ton of lands that game. That was the problem. We didn't really run into any creatures or anything to do. I might bring in 2 of those. Cut down on Blizzard Brawl. Just, removal's important, but at the same time, if we get a good start, this deck's kind of unstoppable, even to people spamming Fatal Push, so we'll go into play. We're gonna maul that. I know that sounds crazy. This is a solid hand. We'll keep this. We'll play the Pelt Collector. Because if we draw a land, I might still play this as a land. Just because. Yeah, we're going to play this as a land. I want to make sure that we're hitting lands. That'd be nice. If we run into some 2-drops, that's good. Blood type Harvester, okay, cool. Land, I'll take it. No attacks. In turn, if we draw into another land, we're like steaming ahead. If we start dropping collected companies, they're in deep trouble. But that's up to the magic gods and the magic sphere. I don't know why he would sacrifice the Blood Tithe Harvester. that seems kind of silly. Okay, this will be okay. 2/2. Opponent has to think about attacks. That's kind of where we want it to be. We need a land off the top. That's what we need. We drew too many last game. We just need a land off the top. Kind of curious what the opponent's thinking. I'm not sure why they would sacrifice. I guess to get it off the battlefield, but it just doesn't seem smart to me to take stuff off of the battlefield. I guess okay. Okay, gets a treasure token. Nice. And we got the land. That's interesting. How many cards in the graveyard? They can't do Kroxa yet. If they Thoughtseize, we will Collected Company. Okay, cool. Mammoth attack. We're going to go ahead and Collected Company. We will bring in Old Growth Troll and Kazandu Mammoth. We'll go ahead and block this. One block. They probably have Fatal Push in hand, which is why they're kind of like, okay. That's kind of fine with me. We get that back later if we need it. Also, some mana doesn't hurt. Hopefully we don't draw into a bajillion lands like we did last game. I might actually collect the company main phase. Go ahead and get rid of Stompy Champion. Collect the company main phase. Ooh, we whiffed so hard. It's funny, I get on camera and these things just... Ugh. And this kind of sucks because now they're going to just basically make copies of Kroxa this entire time. There's not much I can do about it. Oh, they don't. Kroxa. They're double blocking. I'm okay with taking a double block there. Graveyard Trespasser, that kind of sucks, but it's really bizarre that they didn't copy Kroxa. This actually turned out pretty well, because we can just get rid of the Kroxa. And a couple creatures to kind of like give ourselves a bit of a cushion here. Because what they're going to do is continue to just kind of cheese me with damage, and I don't really want to deal with that. Now, Graveyard Trespasser copy is kind of a pain in the ass, but at least we have the option of blocking. And there's only so many creature cards that they can exile, so hopefully they don't draw into single target removal. They do have Den of the Bugbear as an option. This card's ridiculous. I recommend you don't attack with the original one. Alright, we're gonna take quite a bit here. You might be dead, actually. Okay, so I can block. I'm taking 10. Kinda wanna get rid of this. If we run into something, okay, interesting. Doesn't really do us much. This comes in tapped, right? I can exile. They got one thing in the graveyard. They're just gonna copy the land. Right? That's what I'm like worried about here. So they're probably gonna push Hive the Eye Tyrant, actually. Yeah, I think we're just done. But let's give it a shot. Maybe if we gain some life, I don't know. Yeah, no. We'll gain some life and we'll hold up Faceless Haven, because we have the option. No attacks, end turn. Opponent's doing math. If they have single target remover, we're just dead. Yeah, we're just dead. So, good games. So that's how it goes. I mean, the second game of that Rakdos matchup was, I just drew like 8 lands. There was not much I could do. So, but I mean, I'm sure there were some other things that we could have done to play it better. I'd have to relook at the footage. These are technically lands. if this survives, we can play our 2-drop. So we'll just keep to it. Play this out. And then play this as a land this turn and play a pack leader. And of course, everybody's just playing Rakdos these days. Seems like Rakdos mid-range is the I'm kind of okay with that, like, because it continues to keep our mana. Okay, I've never seen this before. That's interesting. You have... Okay, not bad. We'll go ahead and play that as a land, and we're going to play Scavenging Ooze just because it sucks. They're going to guess -1. Okay, we gain 2 life. We draw into a land, we're like smack in face with a 4/4, so okay. This card seems to be everyone's favorite card. Now we only have 1 creature in the graveyard. I think we're just gonna steely champion this beast. We're not gonna attack, obviously. Draw into a land next turn, we are definitely going to 2/3, nice. Definitely going to play Questing Beast and just start pressuring the opponent. People always like freeze when they see Steel Leaf Champion. It's like, oh, what the heck's going on? I didn't know that card existed. It's like, yeah, it does. It's a great card. Blizzard Brawl is not terrible. Let's Blizzard Brawl one of these. We'll discard another Scavenging Ooze. So it looks like they're not really focusing on the graveyard part of things. If they want to trade, I'm happy to trade. They can't block this with this, so they're going to have to trade their Graveyard Trespasser. We're pumping 5 damage. If we can get a land and we don't get Thought Seized, that's the problem in this format, is getting Thought Seized. Yeah, okay, or that. What do we value here more? I think Collected Company, to be honest with you. It would suck if we got Thought Seized right now. I'd be like really upset. Okay, Bone Crusher Giant. Nice. Oh man, that's rough. I think we gotta leave up. Not much we can do about it right now. They've only got 3 cards in the graveyard. It's funny, I was talking about in the intro of this video, I've never really had issues against this deck. And now all of a sudden I do. It's kind of frustrating. So, okay, Faceless Haven. That helps us a lot. The question is do I play a Questing Beast? I don't think we do. I think we just hold up Collected Company. They can discard the card. They're closer to getting Kroxa back from the graveyard. If they don't want to attack, then that's fine. Like, they could activate Eye of the Eye Tyrant and just start doing damage. Okay. That's a pretty bad card. I'm just going to take 2 damage. Because it's not really smart to make Devils for the opponent. And honestly, we could trade our champion. I'd be okay with that. Opponent's a little scared, it looks like, to get in. This is wild. Okay, see, this is the Collected Company. I'll go ahead and play Questing Beast. I think we go in. We're going all in. I'm going to go 2 at this ob. 2 at this ob. Actually, no. 1 to face. They have to block with Bone Crusher Giant on the Questing Beast. Everything else won't die, so they're hurting. You can go ahead and do they might be drawing a card, it looks like, with Castle Lochthwain. which would be good for us. We want them to use their mana. We got the pressure on. I can, they can't block anything, which is kind of rough for them, I guess, so we'll see. It'd be nice to have some sort of removal for reflections of Kiki Jiki. Ooh, this is pretty wild. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and just play the Great Henge. Yeah, bonus cooped, because if I draw anything after that point, we're just holding solid. Okay, so more graveyard shenanigans. I'm just gonna trim some cards. This card's okay. Against a lot of what they have, though, it looks like we might have trouble just getting the damage through, so I might actually just take out Questing Beast. A couple Snakeskin Veils to just protect our early threats, so they can just kind of like waste a piece of removal sounds nice. And I think that this is okay right here. No need to bring in Shifting Ceratops. There's argument for a Soul Guide Lantern, but Scavenging Ooze does the job, and I'm kind of thinking about taking Soul Guide Lantern out. It's not really effective. I'd rather have like Weathered Runestone or Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, this is a solid grip of cards. We have great curve going here. If we draw into lands, we're like all set. So we're definitely keeping this. Opponent's gonna probably Thought Seize us. Or nah. Or nah. See how this goes. They definitely have Fatal Push. They'll probably wait to use it. Or they might just use it. You never know. Blood Chief's Thirst. Sorcery Speed removal. We have drawn all the lands we need. We don't need any more lands. Just stay on curve. With this land, we can use Blizzard Brawl. Turn 4 if we need to. Blood-Tided Harvester, okay. I could just remove it now, comfortably. I think that's like kind of the best play. Do I really want this sitting here? They got 3 cards in hand. Next turn we can collect the company. I think we just take this out of the way. We'll go ahead and attack. Can't kill it this time, so. A couple Faceless Havens we'll have as backup if we need it. Looks like opponent discards a Kroxa. We definitely need to get rid of that. That's hopefully with Collected Company I can. Looks like they're only getting red mana, so hopefully with Collected Company I can pop a Scavenging Ooze at the end of their turn there. And we'll just take care of that problem. They are basically cycling through their deck trying to get to Kroxa mana. Oh, okay, they were Thought Seize. We'll attack, because I don't really necessarily care. I'm just gonna Collected Company at the end of their turn anyway, hopefully drop something. Looks like they're a little bit mana screwed. That'll help them. Go ahead and Collected Company. Pelt Collector Scavenging Ooze are amazing. Kroxa in their graveyard. That's what their plan was. We'll play this. And I think we're just going in. There's no reason. Heal him 6. Opponent needs to get rid of this because if this starts growing, I start gaining life. They're in trouble. They're getting rid of creature cards, which is very strange to me. I guess they're looking for some form of removal. But they might be too far behind. Okay. I have a feeling they have Fatal Push and they're trying to get rid of one of my 3-drop. We can take 2 here. I'm not really that concerned about it. Make them use resources in order to get rid of stuff. Yeah, don't crush turn. I think we're gonna just keep the pressure on and make them and force them to like actually have to do things. That's fine with me. Get 8. Get a 4/4. Trample. They can't do anything with that yet, so I think they're kind of in the mud unless they can get rid of these creatures. They can't block Steel Leaf Champion. Blood-Tithe Harvester can, but we got Faceless Haven, so I'm not really like concerned about it. They're like really churning through this deck. They kind of got land screwed. I feel kind of bad. Wow. All right. I guess opponent wanted to go out in their own way. GG's. I mean, I can't tell if we got lucky there or, I mean, we had a great start this game. Like with that curve, everything kind of lined up. They didn't really have the removal they wanted, so we just persevered, played it right, did enough damage, and we won the game. Let's get to one more. All right, game 3. So we lost one, which kind of just happened. I mean, what are you gonna do? We drew all those lands. Ionized Radiation. It'd be sick to be sponsored by Mountain Dew one day. Alright. Opponent's on the play. This is a pretty decent hand. I can deal with that. The question is, okay, so everybody and their mother is playing Rakdos now. So whatever we play here is probably going to die. We'll just play this since we have mana. But if it lives, then that's a positive thing, you know? But it won't. Okay, Blood-Tithe Harvester. You know, people just aren't having any form of ingenuity these days. It's a really good deck. It's a very good deck, actually. Okay, second Blood-Tithe Harvester. Opponent might be hurting on mana. Just kidding. LOL. JK. Okay, interesting. Decides to sack for the Blood-Tithe Harvester. Okay. I think we're just gonna hold off, so we can have a pretty big turn here if we play our cards right. Okay, opponent's going to discard and draw. We're just gonna pass. If they try and remove the Llanowar Elves, okay, apparently the guy drew every Blood-Tithe Harvester in his deck. We'll go ahead and do this. He's probably gonna snap kill this Pelt Collector. Bring in Rhonas. We'll bring in Pack Leader draws us cards. This can be ginormous. I think we'll do that. That's why we play that card. Now, here's the interesting thing. Because we could play this, play a Pelt Collector, or we can just drop a Questing Beast. I think we play this first. We'll have 3 mana. I could just put +2/+0 and trample on this. So we're kind of good on mana, right? And we can hold on to our Questing Beast. Alright, we'll just go ahead. Boom. I just messed up, misplayed. But that's okay. That's life. They're probably actually going to hold off on using Blood-Tithe Harvester. They can use it on this now. If they have another blood token generator. This card is just going to save us the game here.
Now you're playing with fire.
Okay. Cool beans. Well, because where we hit into the good game. Straight to the dome, kills Miss Chandras. And that's how it's done. This deck can have some pretty insane starts if you draw right. I think we're just gonna like bring in Snakeskin Veil. I mean, opponent kind of had a weird start. I'm still not 100% on the questing beast. Sorry that we're going to be playing against 3 matchups of the same quality in this video, but at least it's testing, and Rakdos is the best deck in the format right now, so could be worse. Not much testing sphere. Ionized radiation, bringing the radiation. Oh man, this is such a risky hand to keep. We're gonna do it. It's a stupid keep, but we're gonna keep it. Okay. Well, that just saves me from... I don't really mind that much. Steel Leaf Champion's kind of a good card. They definitely have another Thoughtseize, otherwise they would have taken Collecting Company. Yeah. They'll probably take all the creatures. We drew into another Steel Leaf Champion. We get a land here. We're actually seeing some progress, you know? We didn't get the land. That's okay. We still got time. Okay, another Thoughtseize. You know, I actually got into a pretty interesting discussion with Cam of the DWC about the importance of Thoughtseize, because I always was like curious as to why people held it so high in regard. Because to me, 2 damage is 2 damage, but then when explained in the way that he explained it, where 1, information is key in Magic. Like if you know what's in your opponent's hand, you're kind of ahead of the game. And 2, not only is like information key, just being able to take a resource from a player, it's so damaging. So then when he talked about that, and I was like, you can win games at 1 life, and I've done it 1,000 times. So wow, we are looking for some terrain. We are not finding the terrain. Opponent's out of resources too, though. That kind of sucks. I'm not going to draw cards. Okay. Got some terrain. Beautiful. We draw into a land? Like, holy schnitt. We're just collected companying every turn on their off. Okay, Bloodcheese Thirst. They spent on that. Bloodtide Harvester. Okay. We draw into a land here. We're like, we're golden. We drew into the land. All right. Next in turn, when they attack, we're gonna go ahead and Collected Company. We might actually. They want to bring in that. That's fine. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. So opponent doesn't have anything. That's what that tells me. Yep, opponent doesn't have anything. They know we have 2 Collected Companies. Go ahead and do this. That's something. We'll probably kill the token. One final push. Kill the token. Okay. Yeah, but we have Collected Company number a bazillion, so we'll go ahead and do this. Pelt Collector, Werewolf Pack Leader. Go ahead and do this, which keeps them from doing shenanigans. They can't use their blood token yet, which is a positive. Well, I guess they can now, but we're going to go ahead and hopefully they don't draw into anything. They drew into a land, which is interesting. We will block this. I'm okay with double blocking this. Because I'll probably kill the werewolf, I can imagine, would be the target here. Which is going to be a Pelt Collector. So, they got 2 mana. Not sure what's in their hand. We'll go ahead and do our 3rd collector. And we whiffed. Wow. Ah, we'll smack. Deck's mostly creatures, so. Okay, so now the opponent's just trying to race us, it looks like. Great Henge would be great right now. I got nothing. Alright, well, we'll keep racing them. They try and kill this, at least we have some protection. Looks like they went through 1, 2, 3 fatal pushes. Anger of the Gods is kind of irritating, but guess what? Alright, game's over. So Snakeskin Veil came through for us. In the end, deck went 2-1. That's not too bad for a monocolored aggro deck in Explorer, which is basically the meta of a bunch of decks trying to beat aggro decks. So let's talk about it in the wrap-up. So the deck performed pretty well. We went 2-1, and my standard featured Rakdos matches. Rakdos is like the biggest archetype happening in Explorer right now. But if you want to play something that's got a solid game plan, I mean, like mono red's even viable right now. So if you want something that's got a solid game plan, you want to smash face, you can't go wrong with mono green. And there's a lot of ways that you can manipulate the sideboard. Mine is not perfect. I tried things. I hadn't really finished this before. I did build this myself. Like, I actually put this together myself. So if you want a copy of this, go ahead and do your thing. But it's a solid deck, solid choice. If you guys have any suggestions, or you want to show me what you would do with a mono green list in Explorer, let me know. I love ideas, and there's tons of cards in this card pool that you could probably add to this that make it more interesting. But until then, like I said, I'm going to be recording multiple videos, so you might see me in the same clothes or, you know, in the same environment throughout when the videos release. I got more days off now, and I'm still working the same hours. It's a pretty awesome job I got hooked up with. So right now I'm just kind of hoping I can get back into the swing of this and get OB Plays MTG back up to speed, and I can join you guys for some more Magic. But until then, I will see you guys next time, and good luck out there in the Magic Sphere. Thank you.